Welcome in, Pirate fans. Tonight's podcast with Coach Rob Woodward. Coach, congratulations on your win against Memphis. And what did you take out of the game that you liked after you kind of looked over and broke down film?
Well, we, again, for the eighth week, grew as a football team. It's been one of the only times I commended our team this week about the fact that each and every week they keep growing in some form or facet that's different than the week before. We really worked on we kind of designated a few of our packages personnel-wise and limited some things that some guys were to just specifically what they could do well, and then tried to really work on some second-team guys getting better throughout the week. And, you don't know how much they're going to play or if they're going to play when they get in there in a situation in a game, but they all, throughout the week, got better and better, and so did our first-team guys. So it was a great week of growth for the Pirates in terms of how we prepared and how we got ourselves better within that. But, Trent Saggers, what a phenomenal game he had with the ability to escape a few times and extend plays and keep the ball moving down the field. I thought our offensive line did a nice job of protecting, creating holes when they needed to. Tanner Holden, wow, what big catches he made. Mekhi Matthews, big catches as well. Those were two key things out on the edge. Guys catching the ball, Avery Denny, big catch. Cole Lowry, big catch. And then, you look at the run game that was put together by Horsley and Ashton Clevenger. Ashton Clevenger having more opportunities in there overall and did a great job of chewing up yards. And I was just real pleased from both an offense and defensive standpoint of how we grew as a football team and each and every one of our players contributing and how they contributed.
Coach, I know we've talked about it throughout the season that you have three phases of the game. The regular season, the first part of it, then you have your conference, and then you have your playoffs. And with that win, and I know you don't want to talk about it too far ahead, but with that win, that did secure you a playoff spot. That has to be exciting news for you and your coaching staff.
Yeah. Making the playoffs is a key component, and then we want to bring that game home to our fans. So securing a home game, which from the looks of things seems to be what we got. It's a sixth home game that we have, and something that our seniors I know want and strive for, and they've earned that, and it'll be a great atmosphere and great chance for our guys to make a run for something. Once we secure, we gotta work through this SOC here, and coming up through Valley here, but we'll get a chance to extend our season on into the playoffs, and we've done a good job of preparing ourselves for that opportunity.
You move on
1 week at a time, and we got the Valley Indians coming up this week.
Right, you do move on to the Valley. What's some of the things Valley does that will present a problem for the
Valley? Darren does a great job of keeping things simple, and his kids know what to do and how to run the plays that they have. Defensively, they're sound, they're disciplined. So they do a good job with the talent that they have. They've got, as you look through their roster, there's sophomores, juniors, some seniors working in there. They're still kind of overall young in some spots. But they're disciplined and they work very well at the things that they do. So we've got to make sure that we account for all those things and have our guys ready.
Coach, over the weekend I was able to attend the Bob Evans Festival, and I talked to you about that horseshoe. Some guy threw a horseshoe over a guy's head. Were you ever good at the horseshoes? Or?
Oh, I loved horseshoes. When we were in college, we had a horseshoe pit right outside our fraternity house, and I don't think anybody else that attended Ohio Wesleyan University knew anything about horseshoes. It was really kind of right before cornhole had gotten big, playing that a lot, and it was kind of somewhat, but we went out and dug some horseshoe pits, and man, you could hear those horseshoes ringing every night around those poles. My brother-in-law, he's got a big pit in his house. The old Foghorn gang that you guys give shout-outs to, he's got a professional horseshoe pit out back of his house. He's got the packed clay in there and everything else. But I love to throw some horseshoes, but I did see a video that you shared with me there. That was some phenomenal horseshoe throwing, and those guys are nuts. laying there and letting somebody throw a horseshoe over top of their head.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing it with a bean bag, a cornhole bag, but not a metal 3-pound shoe coming out my head.
Yeah, no kidding.
Also, the Bob Evans Festival there. How far is that away from your family farm there?
Oh, that's right where I grew up. You're just about maybe 5 miles down the road to my parents' place. My wife's family lives just on the other side of 35 there, in the Bidwell area. So both of us grew up right there. We actually lived in Rio Grande in 2006 and had a house right there in downtown Rio Grande, or about half a mile out, and drove as my wife was working in Gallipolis, and I was driving to Wheelersburg that year of 2006, 2007. Actually, 2007. I drove that for a while. So, yeah, we both have extended family back in that area, and we've always been part of going to attending the Bob Evans Farm Festival, and it's quite a show.
Yeah, it really is, and I was pretty impressed. Do you prefer the horseshoes to the cornhole? I know cornhole's pretty popular now.
Personally, I like horseshoes. I don't know. It's you're not able to just set it up real quick. You got to go out and drive those stakes in the ground. But if you can find a good place that's got a horseshoe pit, I like to throw horseshoes myself.
Coach, thanks for talking to us this week. Any final thoughts before Coach goes out to Lucasville territory and tries to take on the Indians?
I just want to continue to see our guys grow. As I mentioned at the start of the broadcast there, I want to continue to see the Pirates get better. Matter of fact, we just had an outstanding JV game tonight versus Memphis. They came in with a talented group, and we have some limited ability at times on our JV group, but my gosh, those guys just battled all night, and they were able to pull out a win 26-20, and it was a great, our JV season now wraps up undefeated through the season here. Our freshmen, they've got one more game this week with Cabell Midland. They've only had 5 games, but one of those were a loss to Russell that they battled well in. So they're sitting at 3-1 right now, and they got a game with Cabell Midland this Thursday. But our younger guys' future looks bright. We got a lot of guys that work really hard and really excited for the job they've done, and our coaches at those younger levels have done as well.
Well, Coach, good luck against Valley, and we'll talk to you after the Valley game on Monday.
Thanks a lot, Gene. Appreciate it.
Right. That's Coach Rob Woodward, and if you can't attend this week's game, you can turn into BurghFan.com at 7 o'clock kickoff. Go Pirates.